Hi folks, after Q1 result yesterday, Tanla ended up in a 20% lower circuit, and today again the share tanked nearly 16% in the morning at the time of creating this video. From its peak, Tanla is now down nearly 70%. Although majority of mid-cap and small-cap companies in IT and tech space are down between 40 to 50% due to this global sell-off and negative sentiment in the stock market, but Tanla has fallen much more than that, which is really disappointing. But the question is, what went wrong? And if you are an existing shareholder, then what should you do with Tanla shares? The problem is that no matter how convinced we are about a particular stock, but if it falls 20% in a single day, we start questioning our investment decision. And those who have invested based on tips without doing any research are completely blank. And since in the short term, stock market is driven by sentiment, a 20% fall in a single day creates huge negative sentiment. I wanted to cover this video yesterday, but I was waiting for the management con call that happened yesterday evening. Hence created this video today after listening to the entire con call in the morning. By the way, this video is only for long-term investors. This video is not for traders who look at the charts to decide the buy and sell. And again, this is not a stock tip. It is only for educational purpose. So the reason I could see the fall in Tanla share price is due to the decline in its Q1 of FY23 earning. The June quarter profit stood at 100 crore rupees against the profit of 104 crore in Q1 of FY22. So there is a fall of around 3.8% in its year-on-year earning. Here again, make sure that you don't compare Q1 with last quarter, that is Q4, because historically for Tanla, Q1 numbers have always been on the lower side. Make sure that you understand this. Historically, Q1 numbers are the weakest for Tanla. But as we proceed further, Q2 revenue and profit increases and Q3 is historically the best quarter for Tanla. So comparison should only be done at year-on-year basis and not on quarter-on-quarter basis. But since Tanla was growing at a brilliant rate over the last couple of years, this fall in Q1 profit on year-on-year basis was not taken positively by the market. Although in terms of revenue, its revenue for Q1 of FY23 stood at 800 crore, whereas in Q1 of FY22, revenue stood at 626 crore. So year on year, revenues have jumped 28%, which is good. And its free cash flow stood at 71.8 crore rupees and cash equivalent at 987 crore. So company has got good amount of cash to invest in its product as well as explore inorganic growth opportunities. Now the reason why revenues have jumped 28% but profits have fallen 3.8% is because of fall in its operating margin. Tanla's operating margins have fallen from 21% in Q1 of FY22 to 16% in Q1 of FY23. Now after the result, Mr. Uday Reddy, who is the founder and chairman of Tanla Platform, has shared a letter to its shareholder. I want to highlight some of the key points. At a very high level, he said, we are progressing well on our one platform strategy wisely. Q1 had some operational headwinds in the enterprise business, but we have our building blocks in place to accelerate our momentum in the coming quarter. We have a strong balance sheet and excited by the opportunities ahead of us. Then he also mentioned what went well for Tanla in Q1 and what went wrong. Let's first discuss what went well. So first of all, Tanla announced its partnership with Vodafone Idea in December last year to deploy Wisely platform. So Tanla Platform has now deployed Wisely platform with its AI and ML based firewall to prevent revenue leakage. Although the complete deployment has not gone live yet, but Tanla is expecting more business from Q2. Mr. Uday Reddy mentioned that on the back of Wisely Insights and AI/ML based firewall, we are able to deliver a better user experience, demonstrate improved compliance, and drive better business outcome, which should translate to more business for us in Q2. Then second key event was exclusive partnership with Core.ai, which is a leader in Gartner Magic Quadrant in conversational AI space, supporting 200 plus Fortune 2000 companies, as well as partnership with Truecaller. Mr. Reddy mentioned that with Truecaller, we expect our revenue stream to start in Q2. We are seeing a lot of interest from enterprise customers and have an exciting product roadmap. Now let's discuss what went wrong. So Mr. Reddy addressed the reason for the fall in EBITDA, and it is important to try to understand it carefully. First reason was due to market disruption from competitors in terms of pricing. Mr. Reddy mentioned that we saw market disruption of pricing both in NLD and ILD business in select customers, which impacted our EBITDA. We have been quick to respond by taking an approach of making focused investment on our priority customer. We are confident that at the end of this cycle, we'll come out stronger with our customers and be able to get back to better profitability systematically over the course of this financial year. So Tanla's margins reduced due to competitors bidding at lower price, and it also had to reduce some of its margin. Then second reason was due to legacy system and infrastructure modernization. He mentioned that we had some challenges in scaling our legacy infrastructure as our volumes have scaled substantially over the years. We have used this opportunity to completely modernize our legacy system and infrastructure to the highest standard. We had an impact in our Q1 of EBITDA, but we do not see this impact going forward. And final reason was due to depreciation of euro against USD that had an impact on their margins by around 1%. And when I listened to the con call this morning, Mr. Reddy mentioned that there was a loss of wallet share in a major account in bulk SMS category due to pricing pressure. Although he did not mention the name, but I read somewhere that it's SBI Bank. So basically one of the competitors has quoted significantly low pricing, which is not viable for anyone in the industry. Again, competitor name was not mentioned, but it is most probably Route Mobile that operates on much lower margins than Tanla. Hence, Tanla had to let go of that part of volume. By the way, in case you want to listen to this con call, I have provided the link in the description. So basically the key reason for fall in Tanla's earning was due to margin pressure because of increased competition in terms of pricing structure and investment to upgrade the legacy infrastructure and depreciation of euro against USD. However, in the con call, Mr. Reddy clearly mentioned that this lower margin impact is a one-off thing and the company should get back to 20% EBITDA level by Q3. After Tanla's result, its market cap has fallen to levels of 8,500 crore and is now available at a P ratio of around 16 and PG ratio of 0.24. And let's not forget that it is the same company that has grown from 579 crore in FY17 to current levels of 3,380 crore at a CAGR of 40%. And its profits have grown from 41 crore in FY17 to current levels of 535 crore at 63% CAGR. Personally, I try to look at the long-term bigger picture and avoid making any decision based on 1 or 2 quarters of bad performance. And I believe that the long-term growth prospects are still intact for Tanla Platform. So even if Tanla grows at, let's say, 20 to 25% CAGR for next few years, then current valuations are unjustified. Friends, if you are an existing shareholder in Tanla Platform and if this sharp fall in share price has created a doubt in your mind, then just take a step back and ask yourself, why did you invest in Tanla Platform? Was it just because its share price jumped a lot in the past and you wanted to mint some quick money? If that is the case, then you should never stay invested. There's no point staying invested if there's no conviction in the company. However, if you have invested based on the fundamentals, then I don't see any change in Tanla's fundamental. It is still the largest player in Indian CPaaS market with 42% revenue market share. Company has recently launched Wisely and TrueBlock in 2021, so their growth journey has just started. TrueBlock is the world's first blockchain-enabled CPaaS stack, and Wisely is the patented digital marketplace for enterprise and mobile carrier created in partnership with Microsoft. Wisely platform has been granted 3 patents in cryptography and blockchain process by United States Patents and Trademark Office. Trust me, it is not easy to get patents. If a company has been granted a patent, then it shows the money and effort it spent on its R&D. And as per Gartner report, the global CPaaS industry is expected to grow at 30% CAGR by 2025. Hence, I am optimistic on Tanla's growth prospect. So for me, a 35% fall in share price post result and nearly 70% fall in share price in last few months is clearly an irrational behavior. It suggests the negative sentiment of investors in the current market situation. Although I could not figure out who has done this selling, but I looked at the latest shareholding pattern in June quarter and promoters have kept the shareholding constant at 43.74%. FIs have kept the shareholding constant at 13.46% and DIs have slightly reduced the shareholding from 3.03% to 2.77%. Personally, I have been a constant believer in technology and its role in shaping our future, and I am more inclined towards profitable technology stocks that are growing both in terms of revenue and profits and have negligible debt levels along with good amount of free cash flow. Yes, of late, the tech stocks have corrected significantly, but I believe that the future growth prospects are still intact. And I always say that in the short term, market is driven by sentiment and in the long term, market is driven by fundamentals. Like I said, I don't see any change in Tanla's fundamental. This sell-off is clearly based on sentiment rather than fundamentals. So I'm still keeping my faith in Tanla Platform. But again, that's my personal opinion. You should do your own research before taking a call on buy or sell. Friends, I just checked if any brokerage firm has updated its target price post Q1 result, and couple of firms have updated the target price on Tanla. HDFC Security has given a target price of 1040 rupee and Yes Securities has given a target price of 1218 rupees, suggesting an upside potential of over 100% from current levels. I provided the link in the description. Although this should not be the only criteria to invest, but at least it gives a confidence that even the brokerage firms are positive on Tanla target price.